Join me as I try out this set of alcohol-based markers from Arrtx and show you just how simple it can be to create a sweet summer calendar page in one sitting. Welcome back, friends. My name is Shayda Campbell, and around here we make art and it's fun, not scary. Today we'll work through these simple floral summer calendars together, and our video is sponsored by Arrtx. As I create my summer calendar illustrations, I'll be showcasing their set of 90 alcohol-based markers. The alcohol-based ink dries out rapidly and does not easily fade. They have a beautiful blending capability with tonal gradation, smooth transition, and they're long-lasting, meaning you're not going to find that they've dried out anytime soon. They're also very comfortable to hold. The set comes in a portable case that also doubles as a stand, and all 90 vibrant colors have a dual tip, meaning you'll have a fine or bullet point as well as a brush point to work with, allowing you to do really delicate, thin lines, as well as larger swaths of color and organic shapes, which we love around here. This particular set launches this month on Amazon, and you can use the code on the screen to save. Check the video description for a direct link, and now let's get into some gorgeous summer calendars. So Arrtx sent me this Sketch Mix Media Pad. It's excellent for alcohol-based markers because it is smooth, heavy paper with no tooth or texture, and that's really what you want for these type of markers. I've already chosen a color palette, a very muted palette with like this gorgeous peach, this golden dark yellow. I want to do some daisies to begin with. So there's a warm green, a bit of gray. You can see I'm mostly using the brush tip as I test the markers, but of course they do have that dual tip with the fine point. Now I'm dividing my square page in half and then creating two rectangles, one on the right, one on the left, and we're going to put the calendars down below. So cute little pages that you could put in your studio, your office, hang it on the fridge, that type of thing. I know my summers get really busy, so having a few calendars around is a good thing. Now, I want to start with those daisies, as I said, and I'm going to use the brush tip and this beautiful light peachy color to create one very large flower, and then from there, I can do smaller flowers all around it, and we'll just start with the large floral shapes. Really simple design. You're going to draw a circle for the center of each flower, do the petals all the way around like the spokes on a wheel, and then grab a beautiful dark yellow to fill in the stamen in the center. Now, after that, we want to frame these really quite light colored flowers with dark, warm green leaves. And again, the brush tip we're going to use to our advantage. As you can see, I can do kind of just like I do with a paintbrush, really thin, delicate lines for the stems and branches, and then you add a little pressure and you create beautiful organic leaf shapes just by adding a bit of a pull and pressure to that brush tip. And if you prefer, you can switch to the bullet point, to the finer nib at the other end of the marker, and you can use that for the delicate stems and branches. That's always an option if you would find that easier. With our leaves in place, we're going to grab another color, and I've chosen a light mauve. It's kind of a cool pink. I'm using the very delicate tip of that brush nib to trace around the perimeter of the rectangle, and then I continue using the brush nib to fill in all around the flowers and leaves. With the alcohol-based markers, it's really easy to do this. The ink flows really nicely, and it also dries quickly, so you don't have to worry about blending these colors. The leaves are not going to bleed, and we can fill in. I think that looks really lovely. To make the petals pop, I will reach for a light gray and just do a few like curving lines to give them a bit of definition and texture. You can outline some of them, but don't do all of them, would be my advice. And a few dark lines on the leaves gives a nice detail. Same thing on the stamen, a medium brown and a few curlicues goes a long way. And finally, I'm coming back in with that dark yellow, and we're going to do a few dots of the same color, but it adds a beautiful shading. So you can layer the alcohol-based markers to achieve this gorgeous shading and contrast. With the illustration for my May calendar complete, I want to test out a few more colors for the June calendar that's going to sit right beside. And I decided to add like a nice sky blue and a lavender, a light lavender. I'm doing these sort of puffy cloud-shaped flowers. One's a circle, one's more of an oval, which means it'll be a bit more angled. I'm doing X flowers where you can draw the X first and then just kind of fatten up the petals a little bit. So what I hope you'll see here is that the working with the brush marker is is not all that different from working with watercolors and a paintbrush. You add a little pressure, you make some blob-like shapes, and it's a lot of fun to turn them into flowers. We've got some circles, some X's, and now we start adding in these thin stems and little leaves. You can see I just kind of add a little punch of pressure to that green brush marker, and there's a leaf. It's a leaf. If you say it's a leaf, not all the leaves need to be the same size or shape, and they can overlap. We can put a little X in the center of these red flowers, and that really makes them pop. I'm also going to create a purple flower that's a bit more like a lilac or lavender. If you've been around here for a minute, you've seen me paint this flower a million times. It's usually just paintbrush marks, kind of in a conical formation, and that's basically what I'm doing here, just painting with my alcohol-based brush marker. I love the way that dark yellow ties everything together. I'm also going to put those dark lines on some of the green leaves, and I'm actually just using a dark gray for that, as I did on the May calendar. So it doesn't even have to be green to create that definition. I'm going to fill in the remainder of the negative space. This time I'm using a light peachy pink. The only thing is it was really close to the color of the daisies, so I ended up outlining them with a little bit of gray. We're going to make our blue flowers pop with a whole bunch of lines, really simple stuff. And then we will blend a little bit of color here. I've reached for a slightly darker lavender this time, and we're just doing some messy brush marks. To complete my little calendar spread, I'm going to use a black fineliner and go over my hand-lettered calendar. Very simple, but I just love the way this turned out. I think this looks really sweet. The flowers are popping. The alcohol-based markers made it really easy and achievable to get such vibrant colors and such organic shapes. And so I'm going to flip the page, and I want to do one more calendar together for July, but this time it's not floral. We're going to focus on some shells. I was really struck by how many beautiful soft colors were in this particular set of markers, and I love a good like pastel-y tone, anything muted, you know me. So I sketched a few messy seashell shapes, and so we've got a few different shells here, and I'm filling them all in sort of light peaches, creams. There's a really light pink, even a few light grays. And all I did was look up some photographs of beautiful shells on Google Images and kind of copied. And once I've got all the base colors in there, I took this warm orangey brown, and I'm going to use that to create some minor messy details and maybe outline, I'll outline this starfish, put a few lines on this guy. I'm also going to use a very soft pink and purple to blend and to shade. So we can add a bit of shading using our pinks, purples, the darker of the creams. And as you shade, you can actually continue to create pattern. So think about that. Your shading can be sort of dotted so that it looks like not only the shadow on the shell, but also the coloration of that particular seashell. I know I moved through this illustration quickly. I really just wanted to highlight some of the beautiful soft colors and how well they blend and layer. That's one of the nice things about working with alcohol-based markers. They dry quickly, but they blend beautifully and they layer in a really great way. So there I have 3 calendars all ready for this summer ahead, sort of busy but not busy summer. I'm expecting a baby this May, so we're just going to be at home as a family of 4. Having some chill time, but I also know that the chaos will ensue and I'll want to stay organized with a few fridge calendars will surely save me. I put a little bit of black ink on there. I think that looks nice. If you would like to see the 4th calendar design, that will be available as a reel on my Instagram, so make sure you're following me over on IG at Shayda Campbell. And thank you again to Arrtx for sponsoring today's video. These alcohol-based markers are so much fun to work with, and as I said a few times throughout the video, it's not all that different from working with a paintbrush. The brush tip allows you to get those beautiful organic shapes. You've got the dual tip, the bullet point, to keep things really fine and delicate. And this particular set is now available on Amazon. Check the video description for the product link and use the code on the screen to save on your purchase of the 90 alcohol-based marker set from Arrtx.